says so. Hi guys, we're live. Apparently, it says we're live anyway. How you doing? Welcome.
And you know, Stuart, the live streams with our audience, that is the way.
It is the way.
It was the way last year, and they made something else, so it's the way once again.
Absolutely. So welcome back, guys, for Mandalorian Monday. It is time to look at a new season of The Mandalorian, and I love how they're just starting out with Chapter 9. They're not going, at Chapter 1 again, or whatever.
Now, straight question out the gate then. Based on how this went, and this is not like a do you like it or not question, but how far do you think they may have planned story-wise? Because to say just chapters imply a sense of forward thinking. How far do you think they may have planned?
I wondered that too. I'm like, are we gonna get chapter 34?
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know. I really don't know.
Because the episode didn't feel like a season opener, but the last one, necessarily, you kind of watch them back to back. It didn't have that. It kind of was, but it was just kind of now again on Mandalorian. Check in for the next episode,
Yeah. I don't know where they would go with that. How far it would go. New book.
Yeah.
Season 5.
The Mandalorian 2, Chapter 1. That'd be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, another chapter, another long one, and now we have 2 review lives a week, guys. So do tune in every Monday for Mandalorian Monday, and of course Friday for Discovering Trek Friday. Future Friday with Discovery. Boom. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
And I'll start sharing so you can chat to people, and I'll be back in a minute.
Please do. All right, guys, welcome back. If you guys want to super chat, please feel free to do so. You got your comment read, your question answered. You guys probably know a lot more about Star Wars specifically than we do. I know Samuel was very into the extended universe. He does know quite a lot of the EU stuff. I don't. I'm more of a Star Trek guru, but I really enjoy the show. I really enjoy a lot of aspects of Star Wars, and I'm just not super knowledgeable in all the nitty-gritty stuff. So if you guys have anything to contribute via super chat, if we miss anything or if we don't know who a character is or something like that, I heard that the Marshal, this character, is Cobb Vance, I think his name is. He's actually in one of the novels, or a few of the novels, so he's a character that's pre-existing, which is interesting. So I'm looking forward to hearing all your knowledge about that. So if you can super chat, please do so. It helps the channel, helps us out, and it helps you guys out as well, because you be part of the conversation, and it also makes for a better conversation when there's more people taking part. So if you can, please do so. We would really appreciate that. You can also join the channel. There's 2 new ranks now. There's Commander, Captain, Admiral, Fleet Admiral, or the President of the Federation. Currently, the President of the Federation is Olivia Julius. You can have more than one President of the Federation. Kind of a weird situation, but it is a possibility. So I'd like to thank Olivia for actually becoming the highest tier possible as far as sponsoring the show on a monthly basis by joining the channel. It really means a lot, and it helps us out, and it's just great to have a president of the YouTube Trekyards page. President of the Federation, as we call them. So anyway, if you want to help us out via PayPal, you can do so. Just make sure you let us know that you sent to PayPal in the description or in the chat, so that the moderators know, and we will address that and read the comment via email. So there's lots of ways to help us out. You can even head over to the Teespring store and use that. There's some really cool merchandise over there for Trekyards stuff, and I would really like to see some more Trekyards gear on people, because we got some cool gear over there on the Trekyard, on the Teespring store. So by all means, check that out as well.
Welcome.
Did you know, Samuel, that we have a Federation president now join the channel?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so wow.
And the Federation president is Olivia Julius. So once a month, she gets to decide a live topic for us to discuss.
I mean, I say that with joy, obviously, but after all this, to have the president of the Federation is Olivia Julius, who designed the space truck and now controls the fate of the entire Starfleet. talk about promotion at the wallet point.
And
Impressive.
speaking of, we now have 2 fleet admirals because the Tiger Man show just upgraded his membership to fleet admiral, which is amazing. So thank you.
But is that fleet post or pre-burn? Because there ain't much fleet after the burn.
Oh, we're not after the burn. We're not going to do the post burn thing.
Well, thank you. That is amazing. As I'm sure Stuart said, those sorts of membership make a massive difference, especially in the next year times when there isn't these shows to review. Those are really gonna help us going. And if we know our monthly is good enough, we can just do the content we know you want, not about the views as much, because you few people get what you want.
Cool. And Olivia Julius did put in another $5. Attention. As the president, I declare Precious the Pug as my VP. Ooh. And also that the tree from Starfleet Academy be beamed to my office right now. You got a big enough office, lady? I don't know.
Well, as president, I mean, if thou doth decree the biggest office on Earth.
Well, we've seen the president's office. I mean, at least once, and it was 10 forward, so...
But the egos those officers aren't as high as our new current president.
True. It's true.
Jesus.
Prime 1351, $5.
Thank you.
$5 for Boba Fett. Look forward to hearing the captain and commander's thoughts. Yes. Absolutely. Well, we're here to talk about it, and like I said, I'm not specifically in the weeds as far as knowledge goes for Star Wars. So if we miss anything, if we miss a character or anything, by all means, feel free to super chat and shout it out. I know Samuel was really involved, or he
used to be.
Of the extended universe stuff, which is now null and void. But
thanks, guys. The best stuff we've had. Yeah. And as a fan who has a lot more sort of general knowledge, there's quite a few fangasms in this that are extra. Things as with Lower Decks, the more you know, the more you get from it. And I've heard stuff after the fact that's like even more once you know you get it. But unlike Lower Decks, it doesn't obviously rely on that stuff. But obviously they've got, how many times the budget? I'd love to see a direct comparison of Lower Decks budget versus Mandalorian budget. I mean, I would assume 5 or 6 times, probably. Yeah. Anyway, so Stuart, what do you think of Mandalorian Chapter 9, Season 3, T2, Episode 1?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. It's definitely a Western. Like the whole riding into town, just people moving out of their doorways to see who's here. It's very much the man with no name, the spaghetti Western kind of the vibe to it. And I mean, that's tried and true storytelling. Star Wars has kind of used that since the beginning. George Lucas used the Seven Samurai, kind of based it on those character types and things like that. So it's kind of redoing what Star Wars did initially, which is retelling other stories in a new format.
In space!
I think it works really well, actually. And now I have seen people like, Mojo, who said online that
Adam
it's basically
of Star Trek fame.
Yeah, it's basically a bad show with bad acting, and if it wasn't connected to Star Wars, it wouldn't be very good. I kind of disagree. I like this kind of, like I said, tried and true storytelling really works well. It's the old tropes, and they're done really interestingly in this environment, this universe that we love. Take Star Wars out of it, I mean, it's just a Western then, and that's fine as well.
Although, definitely for Discovery as well this season, if you take Star Trek out of it, it's just a generic sci-fi that is bland. Yes. This season, but it's the Star Trek is what gives it the meat. So it's a hard thing. Yeah. Take out the thing it's built around, out of the thing, and it's bland.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was definitely as good as most of the ones from season 1.
Now, how many of those do you rewatch, if any, before this? Because that, I think, will also important to this discussion.
Didn't watch any in the lead up to this. I was going to. I never got around to it.
Because they're quite long, Stuart. Lower Decks was much easier to watch. to
be fair, most of season 1 is like 34, 37 minutes. Not really even... Well, we complained about that. We complained about that for season 1 of The Mandalorian. There were a lot of short episodes. This one, is definitely over the 50-minute mark, which was nice to see.
I've forgotten. I thought they were all 50 as well. It might just be my brain from the past. Oh, okay.
No, there were some short ones that we complained about. There were a few longer ones that we gave them credit for doing, but Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I will go back and rewatch them at some point. I remember most of them because I do watch them like 5 times before
Mm.
when all is said and done.
Yeah.
So I'm missing some of the characters like Cara Dune and stuff, but I mean they'll be back for sure. We've got a new character that is a really great character in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again. So lots of good meat here, and we get to get an inside light onto the Sand People.
Mm.
And basically they're analogous to the Native Americans or the Indians. Same kind of feel. They'll help us out. Well, they raided us and we killed some of them, and they'll keep their end of the deal. I thought that was really good. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed it. I used to watch westerns growing up because my dad was big into westerns, still is, and so yeah, it feels like putting on a nice, comfortable pair of slippers.
Well, if you check out our live vid yesterday with the Trek Central, we asked briefly about this, and I made a slight comparison. Whereas, unlike Discovery and Picard, where each episode we were going to wonder if it would even be good, Lower Decks and Mandalorian, it's a question of they're all going to be good. It's about the level of good and about what surprises we're brought. I don't think any episode this season is going to be bad. Then they don't make a bad episode. They make versions of good. And
That's what I said last night. Even the bad episodes of Mandalorian are good.
Yeah. So I again. So therefore, I liked this one. I did. I liked a ton of the fan stuff because it's so well integrated. But the caveat I'll reiterate a season one. Mandalorian is each episode is simple story told with a lot of not padding but enjoying the moment and savoring it. Yeah. But when that's well edited, well musicked, and well paced, it doesn't feel bloated. It just feels like I enjoyed seeing those vistas of the sand. I enjoyed them walking through. I enjoy the slow moments because you really get this just feel, this real tangible feel that is just hard to create. And I've edited things, I know, and they do it obviously with effort, but it works so well here. And these are stories that they never could tell on the big screen because we rushed. This is the exact opposite to a movie. It's a tiny story. They could probably tell in 20 minutes, honestly, if you're really good, 20 minutes. But it's still an interestingly told thing. And it's also very limited acting, very limited whatever. Although now I know exactly how they filmed season one. I'm looking at what was green screen, what was clever digital, that single soundstage with the LCDs. I'm trying to look how they're creating it. But,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and it is, I think, kind of, you can tell. But I liked how much of this was out of that. Like, they obviously had to build that city set. So there was some nice extras. I'm like, good, it wasn't just a circular room again and again. And yeah, the guest star is great. They're very good at creating them. He's very much Karth from the Natural Republic games, even his look. So I think they're pulling tropes from very famous and well loved expanding universe characters who've already done all the hard work. If you look at the new 3 films, they take a lot of inspiration from the Skywalker children and just plop those exact character traits into Rey and Kylo and whatever, which because they worked and they were actually well thought out. And what really gives this episode the resonance is that instantly I knew that was Boba Fett's armor, and so instantly you're thinking, holy effing shit, we're going to go straight into some meat, which is unusual, which is why it does feel like a season opener because it's the big meaty one, but it gives us an instant sense of, oh, we're back in, comfortable sweater, but there's something big here. It isn't just, let's go raid a camp that doesn't mean anything, let's go do this. This means something, the end obviously means something, and for me personally, I have played the Knights of the Republic games many times, and in, I believe the second one, you can, or not, massacre or become friends with the Sand People, and I've done both. Most of the time I'm friends with them, so I have a very deep connection with them to know they're not savages, and so getting to see a full episode with them as the frenemies was so gratifying to me to see them communicate. They aren't just what like we saw in the other Star Wars films. Oh, they're just people to kill. Zoom. There we go, done. No, there's a real depth here. Maybe not we learn more about them, but we get to see them in a new light. And having played the other universe things where I get to experience these characters, I'm just like, cool, good. I want to see this. Great, they did it. Thanks so much. There you go.
Good. Olivia Julius, $2. Worf, Troy, and Alexander did it better in TNG. It's full of datas. No, they didn't, but they did it good enough for what it was.
Oh dear.
Prime 1351, $5. Love that the Crate Dragon made the same noise as Kenobi in A New Hope. Finally gave that ridiculous noise some context. Yeah, scare away the sand people. I love that. It's the exact same noise, which was great.
And I knew they were doing that really early on. For me, as like I said, I've fought a Crate Dragon in several games. I've killed them in several games, and having then I know exactly what they look like and how powerful they are. And to see it, I was like, oh my god! And then I was saying out loud, "Find the pearl, find the pearl, find the pearl, find the pearl." Hey! Because I know the creature. I've used. It was very expensive to get a crate pearl, so I was like, yeah, I know this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good guy. Good guys.
Warrender Technical Solutions, €2, 50 likes. Let's go for
more
rounds. For the round 100. Hashtag Mandalorian like spike. 112 people here, 59 likes. Guys, come on. You can hit 100 likes easily. We're aiming for 100 right off the hop. I'm not even going to set the 75 goal. You're going right for 100. Hit that like button. Olivia Julius puts in $2 and says, new Trekyards emojis.
Woo!
There are 2 new ones, but those are placeholders. I'm waiting for Samuel to send me the ones that we're going to be replacing those, and it's going to be his Ship to Horizon, 2 of them.
Yeah.
So right now it's an Orthos of the Foley class and one of our technical research division badges, which is well, not a new one. It's one of our original ones, actually.
Retro.
But anyway, yeah. So those are limited time only. Tune back in as soon as Samuel sends me the thing I need, then I can put up the new ones. So, Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. Sand People Rock, 59 likes. Hell yeah.
And Deborah is saying we assume it's Fett armor, but as someone who's walked around with Mandalorians before, like instantly that's the correct color palette. Like know it's his armor. Just this guy looks so thin in it, and like because they've made a very clever point of everything else looking similar but not quite. And this is why I said in season 1 that one guy in the corner there was like, look, it's Boba Fett's armor. It's like, no, it's not. It is similar, but it's not. But his armor when you see it because it's distinct enough.
It's even got the ding in the helmet where it's supposed to be. It's got everything.
The antenna that no one ever had again, because it's like, wow, that thing will break.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, well, let's get started.
Sure.
Starts out with the walking through this sketchy ass part of town, I guess, with graffiti all over the walls, and some interesting graffiti, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't know what the creatures were outside. I don't know if there was something specific, or unless those are the.
No, just things and bobs.
No. Okay.
I will say that this whole intro didn't grab me the way I think it could have, especially after not having rewatched season 1. The Tatooine stuff really kicks into gear. This is fine to me. It's like it's sort of more of the same, but it doesn't have a zazz that I was looking for. So I was kind of like, okay, here is some scenes. I mean, I like seeing all the aliens, obviously, that we know. The world feels alive. But something about this intro, it isn't great, but at least it isn't in the same room as the, you know what I mean? At least it's got this scope, but it wasn't, wasn't great for me, the intro.
No.
What about you?
It's just, it didn't have the punch I expected for the beginning of season 2, but it's fine.
So why start here? Exactly.
Yeah. Once you get the flavor of the whole episode, it's fun. It's perfect. It's that Western slow burn kind of thing.
Yeah. But I would probably skip into the next scene if I was watching it again. Just like,
so he goes in to see the guy, and it's weird, honestly, seeing skinny Gamorreans. You're used to the Gamorrean. Used to the Gamorrean guards from Jabba's palace, the toys, the big guys.
Oh, they are. Shit. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they're Gamorreans.
Oh, they're thin though. I never noticed that. Huh.
Yeah. And they look odd being thin, but they got the classic, Gamorrean guard
Jabba
armor.
feeds his guys well.
Absolutely, yeah. He just hires the big boys.
That's funny.
Yeah, I always assumed they were all like that, but no. It's just kind of a weird sensation seeing that. So.
Nice extra detail.
Yeah. Then we get the whole. You want to bet your Beskar armor on this guy's going because he's going to shoot him anyway. He says it'll be dead in the next minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't leave it to chance, and because his guy was losing, so he shoots the other guy. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. The fact he's basically wearing what the equivalents would probably be like platinum armor made of pure platinum around. Like, people are going to be gunning for you because he said that Beskar is on the rise as far as its value. So, damn, wouldn't want to be wearing that necessarily, but
although the problem with this scene, obviously, is the guy says, I've taken out multiple Mandalorians, and he knows this armor is literally impervious to almost all weapons, and yet he sends 5 guys with tiny hand blasters as if that's going to stop him. So the whole scene plays a bit pathetic in terms of you know better, and the fact that he gets killed at the end is like, this scene is a bit stupid. If you want to capture a Mandalorian, this is not how you do it, you dumb shit. And so it's not compelling,
fair,
you know?
To be fair, his gun is pointed at his throat, which is a not Beskar protected area. It's like right at his throat. So one shot and he'd be toast.
Yeah, but still, you would, you know, like, is that really how you beat all the other guys? 'Cause I'm sure he could do some sort of maneuver.
No,
like, these are the most dangerous.
Not every Mandalorian armor is Beskar. Remember, he had to get his Beskar armor.
Yeah. I mean, they should all be Beskar. They just can't all afford to be Beskar.
Exactly. His old stuff wasn't, because it got trounced. It got the shit kicked out of it.
That's true.
So
yeah, it just felt a bit
easy enough to kill a Mandalorian.
It just felt a bit weird. Like, you should have, had a bit more, like I said, a bit more of a punch. There's a slight disconnect. It's like he didn't seem smart, but then he got killed quickly, so he wasn't very smart. But it's a decent enough fight. Yeah. And seeing Baby Yoda be like, nope, peace out, is quite cute.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. And that's, although we really get Baby Yoda is like a nothing this episode.
Yeah.
Non-entity.
Which is fine. I don't want him to be, people were saying in my first reaction review last night, I wanted him to, like, use the Force on the crate dragon. I'm like, no, you can't have him do that for everything. Yeah. Him doing it with the Mudhorn was great because you didn't see it coming. Yeah. And it can't be like that's the way out of every episode. That would just be not good. So.
Well, as I said last season, I think they made a mistake by showing Baby Yoda straight away because it creates expectations it's the Baby Yoda show. Oh no, it's not. We might get 7 seasons before he gets any real story, like real story. I think it is just the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda there a bit as a marketing tool at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it is more of a clever marketing than actual story. While it's the overriding, we're not going to get, like, there wasn't anything progressed this week of that storyline at all.
Yeah.
And it's like you only have 10 episodes and you wasted one, but obviously there's so little story to tell with it. So therefore,
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't say it's a waste though, because we do get the introduction to the new character, and he's definitely going to be coming back at some point.
Well, I mean, just waste as in, yes, the episode was, I need to find a Mandalorian who knows how to get back to the Mandalorian information ring.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Baby Yoda directly. It was to get him home, but Baby Yoda played no part in that. It could have been for any other purpose to meet up with the Information Guild. So, non-straight line. But I mean, whatever. I mean, Baby Yoda's now not very interesting anymore. Lost that at the end of season 2 when nothing happened. Yeah. I find Mandalorian himself more interesting now.
Now he's the MacGuffin because they got to find his race to give him back, which we'll see where that goes. But
yeah, good fight. Lots of stuff. I think he's a vibro blade as well, which is nice because I recognize that. Yeah.
And then takes the guy outside, and as soon as he strings him up and says, "You won't die by my hand," I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's gonna happen? Because he's gonna die for sure."
Yeah.
But gets the information that there's a Mandalorian on Tatooine, and then shoots the light out and lets the guy get eaten alive.
Yeah, it's pretty ugh. Yeah.
Could have been,
Oh, it doesn't make you like the Mandalorian. I know. I guess trying to remind everyone that he's actually an anti-hero. But it's like this guy, you could need information later. That's why you came to him in the first place. It's like you can't kill every informant, otherwise you have no informants.
That's true.
But whatever. Anyway, moving on to Tatooine, and that was great because we've just been to Tatooine, and I can imagine it was quite a ballsy thing for them to say. In the writers' room saying, "So what should we do first? Tatooine." Like, you want to dig up the nostalgia, throw it at the audience, but it's done so well. It's like it's a milestone, but it's a big stone, and they certainly use it to its fullest, which I like. If you're going to use it, do it properly, and they did it properly. So,
and the approaches were great to the city, and then landing at the same with the lady. Yeah. I love the whole guys. He doesn't like you. Yeah. Don't touch his ship. And he's like, nah, actually, let them do the once over. It's like he's kind of mellowed now that IG-11 sacrificed himself. For him. He's true. Like, robots aren't quite as bad as I thought. So yeah, let them go do their thing.
Think about that. Yeah. Well, because I mean, all that we hate robots, we were wondering where that was going to be, and then we learned it was because of his childhood. But now we, as the audience, are past that. The character is now past it because that was one of the season 1 arcs. But you are right; there is a direct correlation to that as well. But I always love seeing prequel stuff come into the universe because it should all be there. Like there should be not a disconnect. There's some stuff later on that really is good, and this is where this show definitely wins out over the new films that just do whatever the hell they want. Irrelevant to kind of making sense in the universe. This show uses new, old, brand new, brand old. It's the universe rather than we want to market, because they can't sell pit droids that they haven't sold to people for 20 years, but they does make sense in the universe. So
then we get a line from her, which honestly could have been written for Tilly. How much do you want for it? Just kidding, but not really.
Yeah.
If this thing divides or buds or whatever, I'll gladly pay for the offspring.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good line. I really like this character.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you want me to watch this little guy for you? While you go doing some adventuring." She's all excited to see him. Which is good. So. And
it's a character that could easily be overused, and it's kind of like a less annoying Jet. Like Jet is forced, sometimes good. This character could easily be that, but they underplay. I did actually laugh out loud when the pit droid got his head stuck in a pipe. Just made me laugh. I don't know. I'm a sucker for comedy. Yeah.
And Hooker Unleashed Film says it was a bottle show in which they reused a lot of assets so they could spend money on the Crate Dragon effects. Great use of assets.
Exactly what I thought.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, they had all this stuff built for season 1. Absolutely. Yeah.
But we get a fan service moment. We get a cameo from R4D5, the one with the bad motivator.
So it's even got actually is him.
Well, it's the same.
Okay.
Section on the top that's rust with the rust things. Yeah, I would say it's the same one.
A legend returns.
Yeah. Well, she even says, "Come on, hurry up!" Like, will help these days, because he's got a bad motivator. He doesn't want to do anything.
But he's still in service after this many years. Good on him. Yeah.
It's pretty great, actually.
So you don't have a droid of him lying right there next to your bench so you can compare? Stuart, you love your Astromechs. Come on.
I do. There's one upstairs in my ready room.
Go grab it. Let's compare. Come on, come on. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah. We're gonna compare. Is this a cameo from a classic movie droid?
It absolutely is, but mine's not weathered. I don't have the restraining bolt ring on it. I don't have mine's pristine, so it's gonna look exactly like an R5. Do you really want me to go get it?
Well, not if it's not very accurate. I mean, the paint should match, though. That's all I want to know.
All right, I'll go get it because it's R5. You talk to these people. I'll be right back.
Whew, pit droids are one of my favourite things in Star Wars. Yes, they're a good, silly design. Oh, and Mr. Jericho. Yes, I for the first all the stuff on the Tatooine, I actively upped the brightness. I remember I had to do that for Discovery Season 1 and also for Mandalorian because they often go too dark. So just zip. Often up the brightness. So how are you guys doing? It was the same droid mentioned behind the scenes stuff. Good stuff. See, that's so unnecessary, but it's great. This is called We Love Canon, 142 people though. 83 likes. Come on, guys. 83 and only a few dollars in super chats. So I'd love to see 100 likes and another $20 in super chats. I know this is Star Wars, not Star Trek, but we do need to make a minimum. If you guys can help, please do. And I didn't notice the dragon fight aspect ratio change, but I have heard it. I'm excited to see it in these stills when we get there, because it's quite a radical thing to change the aspect ratio in the middle of a film.
I hate you so much.
I know.
That's literally the opposite end of the house 3 times. I got to go from here to there, up the stairs, to there, up the stairs, over to there, and then all the way back down.
I have done that as well, I've had to pick up my camera from all that and go, oh no, I missed a battery. Yeah. Looks pretty similar.
Oh yeah, bud. It's him.
What's a cameo? Really cool. Hey, and he hasn't aged a day.
Yeah. Anyway, he shows the map, and so Mos Eisley, Mos Espa, and Mos Pelgo. Mos Pelgo is no longer on the map because it got wiped out by raiders, which is where it's going.
I found that odd though, because they say no one knows where it is except here's where it was, and they get there and it's fine. It's like, did you would tell people that you were fine. So it's a bit of a disconnect. I thought it was going to be a wreckage location or a crater, so I don't think it quite makes sense.
Crater.
Yeah.
Crater.
So I didn't like. Why would they not? I guess they don't want to be attacked again, but like there's the starport at Mos Eisley, so it seemed odd to me. But plot hole, I don't know.
It does seem odd.
But some beautiful VFX shots of going through desert, really nice stuff. A lovely little sand people set up, showing he speaks a language.
Old rusty speeder bike.
Yeah, which is very much.
Yeah, they actually hired a deaf person that knew American Sign Language to give the Tusken Raiders a little bit more depth, because their language is very much gesture based, and like the sounds, the guttural sounds are for to accentuate or to so that was great actually.
Cool. Yeah, that was good. In fact, Baby Yoda does come with him. Didn't leave him alone. And then we get a nice canon-looking farm place. Not a very big town, or very many people. No. But I mean, if it's all good.
Very small, actually.
Yeah. Great little weak way. Another use of one of the canon races. Ask for Mandalorian, and boom, a very thin, not Boba Fett.
Yes.
With a longer neck, and he does look a bit daft, but in a good way, if that makes sense.
Well, it's like, the armor doesn't quite fit like it should, and it doesn't have all the accoutrements that Boba Fett had, so of course it looks odd.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, damn, Boba Fett lost some weight. That's what I thought.
Well, he got eaten for 5 years, so yeah.
And then the whole give me something to drink. 2 snorts of spotchka, sorry. And then he goes over to the table, and I'm like, how the hell are you going to drink that? That's the first thing that happens is the helmet comes off and Mando kind of stops. I thought that was great and well played.
Yeah. There's rumors about Boba coming back. And did you think it was Boba Fett instantly? Like, you're like, oh, that's the armor.
I thought it was as soon as he showed up in the doorway. And then when he came and asked for the spotcha and went to the table, I'm like, I'm not quite sure that's him. And that's, then it's a quick reveal. So,
I knew it was his armor, not him. I kind of guessed that. But I love how they've actively, paint chipped it more. Gives it a lot of character. Because it was, eaten. And the thing about Sarlacc pit is it actually keeps you alive while it's eating you. So you can be alive for literally hundreds of years. Doesn't matter how long your species lived. It can actively keep you longer alive. So it's pretty gruesome. But I guessed straight away. And when he picks the helmet, I'm like, oh, yeah, because he has to drink. And it's just great look, great reveal, great Western vibe. And then, it escalates from being, hey, come have a drink, to take it off or I'll kill you. It's like, well, I guess we're doing this. And it's like, well, that was quick. Thanks, new character. I guess you're dying instantly. Thanks for hiring a celebrity.
Well, we also get the reveal of where'd you get it, and he said bought it from some Jawas. So it's not like he found it or anything. Now, some people questioned, is he telling the truth? Do you think he might have killed or got it from Boba Fett some other way? And I say no, because I think the character is very upfront. As a matter of fact, by the end of the episode, I thought that the Mandalorian was going to say, you know what? You're a good guy. You're taking care of the town. You're protecting people. You're a man of your word. Keep the armor. But, of course, the Mandalorian code doesn't allow that. So, but I thought that could be a possibility for the ending as a kind of a twist. But, Warrant or Technical Solutions, £2, 100 likes. # like spike. I'll catch the rest tomorrow. We'll see you later, Ian. Have a good night. And guys, 155 here, which is awesome. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 120. That's good, 120.
Yeah, I didn't think he killed Boba. His demeanor is so genteel, and once you introduce this armor, that's going to be one of the biggest plots of this season. And you knew that the guy they said was Boba Fett last season can't have been him, because it would have been this guy then, because this guy's wearing armor, etc. So it makes more sense. Obviously, at the end, we know it wasn't, etc., etc. So definitely a clever introduction. It's clearly thought out, which I like. But rumble. I thought a ship was gonna, like a Star Destroyer, was gonna be above it rather than under the ground. But I was pleasantly surprised with what we did get.
When I saw it coming, I thought it was a Sarlacc monster moving or something.
Hmm.
I didn't expect a crate dragon.
No, they don't
Um,
do that. They didn't do
no,
that before this. That's a
and
new
and
canon.
and how convenient that it goes right through the main thoroughfare and not underneath the buildings. It just goes right down the main road. How convenient for
Just
them.
enough size. It was
Yeah.
crate dragon head sized. Yeah.
And I think they wanted to kind of blow their load before Dune did, because Dune's coming back out, and they're gonna have the sandworms. So when it came out
Mm-hmm.
and like grabbed the bantha, I'm like, oh, you just wanted to do that before Dune did it, you bastards. But it's okay.
Yes, it's definitely Dune. But I mean, guys, it's actually a dragon. Like I was waiting at the end to see the actual body, because why the hell would it do? Like, it's moving a lot of its body under the sand, way more than. It's a very odd way of moving. Maybe in one of the books it said it did this, but it's totally new to me, and I don't know if you guys know, but it seemed like a ill use of body mass. Whereas it just looks like a Dune monster, but ate a dude, effective. Everyone's like, well, shit. And then instantly we're going to, let's not be enemies, let's be frenemies. But you know what? I like everybody who doesn't try and kill me. Let's be friends. And Mandalorian doesn't say anything either way. He's like, great, we're friends now. Again, doesn't say a damn thing. But now we know, like, same page, they're moving forward, great. And they're a good buddy cop. You need someone extra charming to go with Mandalorian's lack of any personality. Like, you need that. Same with Cara Dune, same with, it really does work.
Yeah, but I was waiting for this guy because he's so nice. I was waiting for the twist that he's actually just being duplicitous, and it actually has a darker side. But it never came like this guy's wears his heart on his sleeve. He's the nice guy that just wants to protect the town people. Even says at one point, "Go after the school." Oh my God, not the school. Yeah. That's such a Western trope as well. The bandits could hit the school, So, anyway, they the crate dragon's a little too much for him, even though the Mandalorian armor has helped him protect the town from bandits and from the sand people, but he needs help with that. He says, if you help me with the crate dragon, I'll give you the armor back. And Mandalorian's like, cool, I'll go get the Razor Crest, I'll come and shoot it.
Yeah.
It's not that easy, it's not going to work, because it'll hide once it hears the vibrations of your ship, so.
Pretty logical, pretty straightforward. Again, simple plot, just well executed and entertaining to watch. And just, nice bright visuals. This isn't a dark show, except when it's very dark. Like, these daylight things look great,
Yes.
Real bright. And then, what do we see? He's flying Anakin Skywalker pod-esque design. Same sound effects and everything. And that, again, prequel love.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The thing here that bothered me was you got the whine of the pod racer engine, you got the whine of the speeder bike, and he's just having a casual conversation, telling him the story. It's kind of like two guys on horseback riding side by side. You can have a conversation, but it's a little too loud, I think. And if he was wearing the Boba Fett helmet, it would have made more sense, because it could have been communications, right? I thought that was a little off-putting for me, but not a big deal.
That is one of the classic tropes. It's the same thing when you realize that all movies and TV, where they're in a bar, in a club, it's silent, and the characters are talking at normal volume, and they put the music on afterwards.
Yeah.
Because obviously you couldn't hear them otherwise. And so once you realise that you can't talk at normal volume in a nightclub because there's music.
Yeah.
But you sort of accept it because it unfortunately that is just a filmic conceit. But yeah, it is a bit odd, especially as it's obviously green screen. It doesn't quite look as good because it's very not real. You know what I mean? It's very, very not real.
Yeah.
And also, Boba is just chilling, a lack of any sort of personality, which is
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2. Hashtag internet issues, 107 likes. Hashtag Mandalorian likes spike. 171 of you here now, which is great. I think we can hit 130 easily because we have 107 likes. So let's get 23 more.
I'd love to see 200 people join in, but that's obviously not up to you guys. You guys are already here, but hopefully some more jump in.
And Scott Purdy puts in £2. Boba is wearing spurs in the final scene. You can hear.
Well,
I didn't notice that.
Well, I know the Mandalorian is as well. There are spurs for some reason. When he walks in the bar the first time, I was like, why is he wearing spurs? Really? Really, Mandalorian man? Why are there now spurs on your boots?
It's to inspire that Western.
Yes. Yes.
Dan 23, 5 pounds.
Thank you. Hey.
Cobb Vanth is one of the Aftermath trilogy of novels, canon, where he got the armor from Jawas who found it when excavating the Sarlacc pit.
So real
cool.
side canon character.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But we get his story of after the second Death Star blew up, they didn't even have a chance to really celebrate.
Yeah.
Also, the mining consortium came in and took over the town, killed a bunch of people. He got away and stole their ice cream maker, which is great that they're using that still. Ozzy Madero's $5,
Hey.
9 out of 10 for Chapter 9. Fleet Admiral Skeleton Hands.
Yeah, fancy.
And Turd Ferguson says, "Did you watch till the end?" Yes.
Yes. Be weird if we didn't.
Right.
Now I did like flashing back to the past during the moment, because that's presumably moments before or after is quite rewarding. Although obviously if they don't spend much time there, but it kind of we hope we're going to see other flashbacks to the famous events. Because once you open the door, we didn't have that. Yeah. Well, we had that once with the obviously go back to the droids, but how gruesome was this? And the idea that within an hour of the galaxy changing, the galaxy is so. I mean, this is Tatooine. It would make hive of scum and villainy that they just murdered. Well, why would you murder everyone here? Why are they murdering their miners?
Yeah, that's labor for you, man. Yeah. You take over, you make them work.
Like I get it if you say everybody on the ground we're taking over, but to massacre them, it's like, why? They didn't give a reason for that. Like, it's murder for murder's sake.
Yeah.
It didn't really make much sense. I guess these are the guys that might be, if these are the guys celebrating the victory of the rebellion, they're the rebellious ones. But there's a lot of people in this bar, and people take, good slave labor or good miners take a long time to grow and be trained, and they're wasting a lot of people here for no discernment. I mean, you could tell me if there's a reason, because I thought this was stupid. Graphic, but stupid.
Turd Ferguson says, "So you saw who was on the ridge?" Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so the thing he stole in the ice cream maker were silicax crystals, which are apparently pretty valuable because the Jawas want them. They run into him a few days later and kind of save his life. Yes. And they're trying to give him like all their valuable stuff, this blaster, a droid. I probably would have taken the astromech droid, even though you probably have no use for it in the desert. But anyway, and yeah, so he sees the armor and points to the armor. So that's how he got the Boba Fett armor.
I like it as a base story, although something about this man, 3 days without food and water, still holding a tub you haven't opened yet.
Yeah.
I understand if I get rescued, but also you might not get rescued. And at one point you say, F it, I'm just walking. So I kind of felt a bit unbelievable.
Maybe he didn't have the skill to open it, because they do have combination locks. The Jawas, you would assume, would be kind of skilled with that kind of thing. So I'd buy that he maybe tried to open it. He just took something that he thought was of value.
He doesn't even know what's in it, though. That's the thing.
True. Could be water.
Even more annoying. So there's a bit of a forced, if they were on the script, how do we have a guy with nothing running away have lots of money all of a sudden? He stole a box. Okay. It's not particularly organic, but whatever. Yeah.
Maybe he did know what was in it, because he did check right away as he was running away, and he knew. It's like stealing gold, like a bag of gold. Compared to a Western, it's like stealing a bag of gold or a bag of money, right? So
yeah, I just wonder at what point does he give that up because he'd rather walk? You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
But yeah.
But then we see him in the armor, and he comes into the bar and takes care of the miners.
Who don't shoot him where his armor isn't bulletproof, even though most of it is not bulletproof. And again, it doesn't. And also, I don't like it when villains. Oh no, an intruder! Oh, I'm dead already. Like, they're obviously all very bad militia if they can't even react. He doesn't shoot them that fast. So, but it's one of those things like moving on. This happens. It was dramatic. Moving on. It doesn't really matter. But I like how just the visual of this Mandalorian armor is enough to have him leave, and in the same craft that is in New Hope. that goes
Yes.
by.
Yes.
So all
And
the callbacks.
we get to see the rocket backpack thing with the
Finally,
scope.
never saw it before.
I love how it locked on, and then he kind of bent over to fire.
He has to.
I don't know if I like that, because there are weapons these days that you lock on. It's like a bazooka. You lock on, you fire, the missile goes straight up, and because it's locked on, no matter where that thing is going, it comes right down on top of it. So it would have been more. I think that would have worked better for this, but
I think he was trying to be just efficient, like any second of them, because they're potentially half a mile away in that time, and he's only got one shot. And that's why I wish this was exact. Cause it's not the exact same missile as Boba had, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is different, but that speaks to later because he has another one. It's just a missile.
Yes.
It's not necessarily. This can probably use generic missiles of different types.
But I wished it was the one that Boba had, because therefore he used the one Boba had, as opposed to.
I think the one Boba had might have used the one to get out of the Sarlacc pit, though.
Hey, sure. But I was thinking that's like, hey, they've used the, because it's like a one-use weapon. So once you use it, now you've got a new prop.
I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go back and check when the armor's in the Jawa Sandcrawler.
And I'm gonna go back and look at Return of the Jedi.
You do that. There's no missile in it.
Ooh.
On the Sandcrawler. So.
I mean, to be fair, they're not gonna keep a missile attached to a thing. They'll just have the missile.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like that you can use different kinds of missiles, because somebody made the point last night. How do you get a second missile?
Bought it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bounty hunter that needs to be like multi-purpose. I would assume he would have a standard issue, death gun unit Mark III. Yeah. But yeah, no, Boba's missile is huge. Like, his size does matter in that. He's just a big old, thick rod.
So, do you think we're going to get the escape from the Sarlacc pit reveal?
I mean, that would certainly be a scene, wouldn't it? To actually cut back, especially the voice. They did retcon the voice into Return of the Jedi Special Edition, so that actor is now always the voice. And so, we've also seen him be de-aged in Aquaman for somewhat good effect. It would certainly be, if they're going to go there, to have him get out, take the helmet off, look exactly like look like Django did when he was younger in the 2000s, and then, since that was actually before Death Star exploded, we could actually have him go to Mos Eisley and see the Death Star explode, and then, I think we're going to see something like that. We'd have to, wouldn't we? And talk about the most side canon thing we've all wanted to see for 40 years. But of course that pussy didn't die like a pussy. He got, pussy way out, epic way back in,
Yeah.
So, to have that put into canon would be, something I think we'd all pay money for, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we get the slow cruise through the ravine where they come across the Klingon Targs. Which, and then, as a result, the Sand People, obviously.
And this is totally just the exact same canyon he fought the guys once before.
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
Like, it's really weird they do it's definitely a reuse episode, which is fine, it works. And also, I didn't like, and I'm trying to get it still, I didn't like this guy's gun. It's just like an AK-47 shell body. Because I know Star Wars has always been, take a modern gun, add, fancy stuff to it, but, I can literally see the shell ejection pad, the fire selector of an AK. I know what these things look like, so it just feels like a bit of a shitty gun. I quite like Star Wars guns normally. Didn't like his gun.
Well, I thought it was all right.
But yes, treats like a dog, fun. I like it, good payoff, and the guy's like, wait, what? You don't just massacre them? What's wrong with you?
Find out that they also want the Krayt Dragon taken care of, so they're willing to work with these guys. Then we find out actually what the bantha stick is used for. It's the one end for cleaning the teeth, which is great. Because it's always got that weird kind of shape, and it always looked odd to me, but now we got a purpose for it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's great. And what a great full-size prop as well. What a great... And briefly, Sci-Fi Nation says, Samuel, do you mind me showing your new fan film trailer on a live stream? Sure. And send me a link. Talk about it. Let me know what you think. And Ian Mixon says that was only like 5 years ago for Boba Fett, though. So de-aging him for one scene would make very little sense. Although I can certainly imagine that he's had a shitty life in those 5 years. He looks awful at the end of the film. And then the thing, much worse than he would be for that age. So
it's 6 years because the destruction of the Death Star was 6 years ago, and yeah, I mean, did he escape the Sarlacc pit right away, or the scars?
So.
Yeah, I would assume like he maybe a couple months or a year later kind of thing. So maybe 5 years would work.
The thing is, if they really want to make the fans have gasms, they should actually have de-aged Tamara play Boba Fett at Jabba's palace before Return of the Jedi, and see him de-aged, and then to have context. So we see maybe he's like setting up his armor for like, because maybe he knows that he doesn't trust Jabba, so he's going to the Sarlacc, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna have anti-Sarlacc venom in my, just in case, because who the hell knows what's gonna happen. And we get to see young, because I think young him would be really important for some, like, to really show passage of time, Yeah. This is your chance, guys. This is your chance. This is literally your one chance. We've already made the show, obviously, but this is your chance.
Yeah. And the whole around the campfire scene, very reminiscent of, again, the cowboy and Indian kind of thing with the peace pipe. Even they break the little spore thing, which I thought, and Sylvia as well thought it was kind of like a drug thing, like the peace pipe. But then you're insulting them. You raid their water, but won't drink it. Anyway, yeah, well played scene. Really enjoyed that. The whole, lower your voice.
He's actually a good diplomat because he doesn't want any trouble. He actually doesn't. Mandalorian's actually quite a peaceful guy.
Yep.
And I like the context here because the fact is these are actually the natives. Like, this is actually their planet. People always forget that, and people always think they're just barbarians. And as he says, they are brutal, but they are talk-toable. And it's just the fact that you can have this scene, you would never have had in any other 9 films. And this just changes the paradigm. Just like with the Jawas, like seeing them in another planet and having more time just with them being them, it instantly deepens the first couple of films. Because you understand there's more to them than meets the lack of face,
Yeah, and it makes what Anakin did even worse. Because now you're like, I like these people.
And this scene, I mean, the way they even construct the tents is like, oh no, we're back here again. Oh no. Yeah. It's the massacre spot.
Yeah. So they agree to work together. I love when they're traveling. They're always in single file.
Yep.
That's great. So they feed. They've studied the digestive patterns of the crate dragon. So they feed it so it sleeps longer. So it's not as much of a problem for them. But this poor bastard gets eaten, and it's like it totally ignores the bantha. Anyway, Scott Purdy puts in 2 pounds. Since being a Mando is a creed, could Boba be one? Yeah, he could be one. He wasn't, and the Mandalorian armor was stolen by Jango Fett from a Mandalorian.
Well, put it this way,
I'm not sure of all the lore there, but yeah.
Put it this way, Boba's only in like 9 scenes in all Star Wars. So there isn't much of Boba Fett. So if they want to retcon in that actually he takes it really seriously, I could buy that. Because maybe Jango, he saw Jango sort of, oh, I don't care, I'm a Mandalorian, whatever. And then Boba takes that more seriously. So I could see it being retcon back in. And that would be kind of fun. I mean, talk about having, the Mandalorian and Boba Fett work together. Why not? And since the voice of Tamara is far more recognizable than the face, because he voiced other versions of the character, that 2 helmets, 2 guys in a sound booth talking, there you go, you got your show. And he's much, you can sell some cool fight stuff. So that, I think, has so much potential. And already, Stuart, feels like it could be earned, which is really weird. It's only been a season, Good for them.
But one of my favorite lines here is, it lives in an abandoned Sarlacc pit. And Cobb's like, I've lived on Tatooine my whole life. There's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit. There is if you eat the Sarlacc. So I think this is a larger than normal crate dragon because it's, most people wouldn't assume that a Krayt Dragon could eat a Sarlacc.
I mean,
so that was pretty good.
I mean, though, it has acid for blood, or for
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a way it could. Although Sarlacc, Sarlacc is a certain sort of creature, but it's not exactly got the reach. A Krayt Dragon can fly.
Can it?
Acid, yeah, acid. It's a dragon. It actually is a dragon. Acid. Yeah, it was weirdly presented. It's actually a dragon. Well, it's a lizard dragon, but it's a dragon. Like, so I'm sure you could do it. But that, yeah, it was. Well, I didn't quite think it just ate it. There's probably something more there, like it was an old Sarlacc, if there's such a thing as an old Sarlacc.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Sarlacc to eat. But yeah, the way it eats that guy, and the way the Tuskens like run like full pelt, like with their silly robes, is amusing, and it is legitimately sad. But the Bantha's like, yeah, bitch, not me this time.
Yeah.
It's really entertaining. Yeah.
Well, the next scene with the whole Krayt Dragon skeleton and the little, I don't think it's to scale. Oh, it's to scale. And then they scatter more.
Yeah.
He's like, where are they getting the reinforcements from? And I was thinking the same thing. I thought they were going to call another tribe. I just volunteered your town. And the look on Cobb's face is awesome. It's like, whoop.
No, the
really good.
Really good. Build here, the payoff, the development is so well earned and built. Very well formatted. Very, very appreciate it. And yeah, that scale thing is just funny. It's just fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well done. Well done. So they go back to town.
I love his pitch. Good news first.
Yep. I'll take a compliment sandwich.
Yes.
Start with something good, send the bad news, then end with something good.
Yeah.
People are not happy. But they talk about the Mandalorian and how he needs his armor back, and as soon as he says that everyone's like, "Oh, what?" The one look on the one guy's face is like, "What? How dare you come back for that armor?" But he agreed to help kill the Krayt Dragon, but we need the help of the Sand People, and the townsfolk are like, "No, they're monsters." It's like Mandalorian says, they've given their word, and they won't break their word unless one of you attacks them first, which I thought was great because there's a nice understanding there now. So
yeah, and I mean the fact is, if they don't ever attack us again, that's a massive win.
Yep.
Like, these are the only other people that aren't like extraterrestrial raiders.
Yeah.
It's it sucks, but the concept of everything about this plan, but also there's so much potential, and the fact is, as you said, every time it doesn't destroy the town with just its body. I mean, they are lucky as all hell, and this is when I think they mentioned the school. And that's a really good hard hit. Like, the town is so ill shown. Really, it feels like 40 people in 5 huts, all inbreeding. Yeah. I know there's quite a lot of underground bits. I know because obviously it's cooler. Fine, sure, whatever. But here, school instantly grounds it to it's a real community. Yeah. No, I like it. Oh, and then the Sand People come to town, and that is a good little. You feel the tension and the visuals, and just the amount of love showing to these Sand People and time and effort is so absurdly unusual. I'm just like, this is great. This is really rewarding as a Star Wars fan to see them as never seen before. Well,
the funny thing here that where they're handing the missiles, they're like loading them up, and the one Sand person drops it. Yeah. The guy freaks out on him, like, "What are you trying to do? Kill us?" I swear to God, I've seen the exact same scene in a Western where they're working with the Indians, passing the nitroglycerin, and he drops a little bit of it, and the same thing plays out. So, very well done. But it's so cut and paste, just with a new skin.
I mean, it's a simple thing. It just works well. And Scott has a great idea. What if this is the Sarlacc who was hurt when Boba escaped, and so the Krayt Dragon took the opportunity to eat it based on its hurt from Boba.
Ooh.
Which is actually very clever.
Well, it's just that the opening for the Sarlacc pit is different, though, so it maybe has multiple openings.
Well, this is a cave. This is the Krayt's cave.
I know.
Not the top bit. But that's a different bit. But I mean, the Sarlacc pit, Sarlacc's huge underground. So then, possible.
Okay.
It's cool.
Okay.
But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. A lot of bombs. I'm wondering how they where they filmed this bit, because they keep feeling as they shift between all the close-ups are in their digital soundstage thing, but the other shot seems too broad or too many people that aren't digital. So I wonder how they filmed this. Although a lot of them you can kind of tell it's just like everyone's at the same level of focus and the background's one unified out of focus. It's like, yeah, that's a digital wall.
Yeah. But it's still amazingly done. Like the lighting on set looks like sunlight, matches perfect. Like it's just
because they're just being lit by very bright lights. I mean, that's the thing. It matches real lighting because it is being generated to be real. Yeah. And this is what's fun. This is, if you think of this as again being in that simple soundstage, they bought or they made these multiple versions of the Banthas. They bought the props, the sand people. They brought these extras in. Boom, there you go. It's all of the set pieces. Everything else is on the set digitally. And now you've got this and it almost feels like a cheap scene that it's just in this little sand, like non-scene. But because it's like so well shot, something about the lack of scope works well to its benefit. And then obviously when you cut to those long shots where you see the cave, you see the group of people, and you can see the battle, you have these very small intimateness, which is cheap to film and shoot, and then boom, these big moments. It's as if it's crafted, Stuart.
Yeah. As far as the plan goes, the plan is to wake up the dragon, have it bury the explosives first, draw it out, make it angry enough so it comes out and charges, and then blow it up from underneath. I think it's a very convoluted plan.
Ooh.
I like what happens at the end. Just strap goddamn bombs to a bantha, let it eat it. Maybe it's just not hungry. I don't know. But and then blow it up from the inside. It's much more vulnerable from the inside than underneath.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's overly complicated, especially especially as they thought they knew the food routine of the Krayt Dragon, but proved they didn't know all the time because it didn't do what they thought it did. It went for the went for the way. I mean, how much less fat is on a sand person than a bantha?
Exactly.
So it already shows unpredictability and. It's a very, and especially the Mandalorian's quite clever. It's a very ill tactical plan that relies on a lot of luck. Because what if the Krayt Dragon comes out and then goes to the left? Oh no, it's no longer under the weak spot. Whereas if they'd thought, I'll throw something into its mouth, do that from the start. Like, you've got bombs, man. Just throw bombs. Have a So it's definitely a let's have a longer running time.
Yes.
Thing, but until you see the end where he does bomb it internally, you don't think they should do that instead. I think you're kind of with them until you realize there's a better idea.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But after seeing the end, it's like it just makes more sense to just strap stuff to a bantha, let it eat it.
They both have jetpacks. It's like that's a way more effective duo than all of these people. No offense to the entire population of the city, but yeah. Oh, and they wake it up and they. Again, Sand People's dodgy running. I love it. Wow. I love their running. It's so silly looking.
So anyway, we find out it has acid saliva as well. You see some people melt.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, when it goes under the sand, I thought that the one that comes out up top was a different one, and they were fighting multiple ones, which would have upped the stakes a bit and made the scene, I think, play out a little bit better.
It would have succeeded against the first one, and there was the second one.
Yes. Because had they already detonated?
Yes.
Because they detonate the explosives underneath it, then it goes under. Yeah. So.
And then it comes out because it's pissed.
Yeah. It would be great to have that one come out and then realize that the one you just detonated isn't dead yet. You got two you have to deal with. Feed one of it, the bantha, the other one, and the one that's wounded. Find a different way to get rid of it. So, I think that would have upped the stakes a little bit. But
and we haven't set up that it can climb a mountain.
No,
not that we need to have, but it's such a radical departure because the thing's always under the ground. What I thought it was going to be, as it was playing out, is we killed the child Krayt Dragon.
Yes,
and that's why it's so small. And they're like, oh, that wasn't so big. And then, because the way it comes out of the mountain is so much more impressive. And then they're like, oh, that was the child, wasn't it? Yup. And then it goes like, and you see it's like 5 times the size. I thought that was where we were going to go. And then it'd be even more dramatic and sad. Like, then you can explain why it's more pissed because you just killed its bloody kid. But yeah, it's definitely, like you said, convoluted a little bit. Yeah, I mean, visually it's great, which is weird considering, and this is a great still, it's a yellow sand floor with yellow sand wearing people against yellow sand mountains with a yellow sand creature. I mean, talk about how I just said it's visually looking great, even though it's one color palette and it still bloody works.
Well, I mean, Star Wars is known for that. George Lucas likes that one color palette kind of thing per environment. Hoth, everything's
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Dagobah, it's all kind of dark and brown, and then you get the, the green of Endor. But no, it works great. And actually, seeing these two guys go up with the jetpacks was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And later, he actually, to get rid of the Cobb, he like hits his backpack or his jetpack, just like Boba's got hit, and it activates it, and he takes off. I never noticed that until people called that out, which was great.
And the jetpack's like, God, not again. Why has everyone hit me right there? The jetpack. But guys, we're at 124 likes. I want to see more likes. 100 people. I want to see 30 more likes and low on super chats today. Although it is Star Wars after all. But hey, 30 more bucks would be great to kind of help us keep going, guys. Doing this rather than a Trek one. So if you can help us out to make it, as good as a Trek one, that'd be great.
Show your Star Wars love.
Yeah, because it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But yeah, I like the jetpacks. I like the flying around. They look a little bit CG, but how could you not look a bit CG?
One thing I noticed when they're shooting at it, whatever, it goes to attack them, they fly down. The Mandalorian lands fine. The Cobb doesn't. He lands, and then you can tell he's on wires because as he's turning, his feet lift up. It was a little bit could have been done better, but not a big deal.
Well, it does make sense he wouldn't be as good at this because this is not his thing. Although I just thought the thing was a bit of a weak point of it where they come up here and they just shoot it with ineffective weapons they know aren't going to work. I'm like,
shoot it in the eye, soft spot.
I was waiting for that as well. What's the plan here? Yeah. Like, especially since he's like, what's the plan? Keep shooting. It's like, but
I think it's to protect the villagers and the sand people down below from the acid.
But they don't say that, and they don't trust it again. There's a disconnect. It was like, let's just have a shooty bit because shooty bit. There's no real connection here. It would be fine if the new guy shooting his blaster not doing anything, but Mando's gun is much more powerful. It'd be fine if that was like causing little like dents, and one was distracting, one was, or like you said, the eye. Like focus on the eye, and both together can kill it or hurt the eye. But that felt a bit like, well, what was the point? Really, in that, ineffective to say the least. I guess to get it down, but
the list of Jericho says, "Did he have a jetpack last season?" Yeah, you got it right at the end.
Yep, last episode.
Yeah,
but it had not a missile launchable one. I think it's just a normal.
Looks like it might have additional fuel for longer flights instead of a missile.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but
actually, in the one scene. Oh, on my screen caps anyway, because I have the subtitles.
Yeah.
The one scene where they're going down, you can actually see the wires on the Mando.
Brilliant. Oh, wait. No. God, what else could that be, though? Did they not take a wire out? That's hilarious.
You see it too?
Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. Okay, I'm going to watch that in motion, because that...
But I didn't notice it in motion.
And
when I was getting the screen caps, I didn't notice it.
I mean, it could just be literally one frame. Let's see if it appears and disappears. That's hilarious, guys. That's a technical thing I should have seen.
That's the thing. I don't think it's really
visible. No, it's gun. It's his gun. It's his gun.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good.
Whew.
That's good then.
Whew. But yeah, the crate dragon comes back, says, hey... tries to kill some people, and then plan B, as we now see the reserve bombs, I guess, although it feels a bit contrived, like, look, our plan B, though we didn't know it. It's not quite...
We have more bombs on the Bantha than we had buried in the sand.
Even though you think it'd be an all-or-nothing plan. Like, it's not quite as organic. It's a great ride, but there is a slight disconnect with organics. I think, how would they even plan this to make it be more organic? I don't know. It's a hard thing to write with what sort of stuff's going on here. So I don't know.
One of the ways I thought about that would have worked better, in my opinion, because this does seem very contrived. There's more bombs on this Bantha than they buried by the looks of it.
Who's also right near the entrance, which is attackable.
he should have said, or you know, give me that and like grab the backpack off of Cobb.
Yep.
And have it. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, we haven't lived up to our part of the bargain yet. And then get eaten. And then the missile from the Boba backpack is what he fires and comes out with just the backpack. And the missile is what saved the day. That would have worked a little bit better, I think.
Well, I was kind of waiting for him to actually have a better bomb. Like, these are all their bombs. He had a special bomb that's like the reserve plan, like the Mandalorian himself. Yeah. And it was like, what's that? Plan B. What's plan B? Bigger bomb. But how big? Well, big if I get, I think it could have been done better. But it's a good action ride that you don't really notice until you start, doing a scene by scene deconstruction. And I've never gone through and like looked at A New Hope and tried to deconstruct it. Will it work as well? I don't know.
I know. I was thinking that as I was doing this, going, we should do some of the movies, but
yeah.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $15. This will get you halfway there. I've been in a bad mood today. The office phone and my two-way radio have been ringing all afternoon. Some post-work. I see wires. No, it's actually the gun. Many people in the chat have been saying that it's the gun, and yeah, I think it is.
And yes, Benjamin, we addressed that right at the start. It absolutely is, and you can guess straight away. Yeah. Well, sorry, Fleet, but I hope you have a better rest of the day. Have some good food, when you get home. Make a nicer thing at the end. But yeah, the new Mandalorian guy fires a rocket. They come after him.
His attention, and that's an old trope. That's a cliche.
Yep.
I got his attention. Now what?
Yeah.
How many movies is that in?
All of them.
Good.
Yeah. It's a bit. I mean, considering this is meant to be a very powerful creature, like just as with other battles where the Mandalorian's arm is impervious to blasters, he's also impervious to one of the biggest creatures in the Star Wars world. It kind of makes him even more the Mary Dorian, Mary Sue Dorian.
Yeah.
But it's still a good scene, although it's not as good as it could be, Yeah. Something about it doesn't quite work as well, and it does feel too easy. Especially as like not enough civilians die. As harsh as that sounds, like I said, this would have been plan A. But then you wouldn't need everyone else. I don't know. It's yeah.
Well, I love how the Bantha like breaks loose. He's like, no. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons that he had to get eaten as well. Mm-hmm. That worked out really well, I think. But then it's obviously corrosive acid. Mm-hmm. And yes, it's Beskar steel. I get that. The rest of his outfit isn't. Mm-hmm. And yet he's covered in this slimy goop when he comes out. That bugged me a little bit.
Yeah.
But
slight disconnect. I didn't like when it did blow up. We never actually got to see the full creature. It's like I didn't like it. It felt always like a dune worm, guys. It's actually a dragony reptile creature. We never got to see the actual. And I know obviously saving modelling. So it's big, and the head looked incredible. But I felt very cheated by not actually seeing the creature. But I guess like with Jaws and the Alien, the less you see of it, the less you understand of it. But it does cheapen it for me. Like it's still really cool, but I was waiting for that one moment. I didn't get that one moment.
Yeah. And T-Break Sci-Fi text says one shock and he flew out with spittle, not acid. I'd buy that. Yeah. I can see the acid coming up from the stomach, and he didn't get cooked down that far. Yeah. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It's just the same color and stuff, so it's a little bit of a, there's not explained too well. So
yeah, and also very easy that one shock from his staff got him out. It's all a bit easy, considering this is a very hard creature to kill.
Yeah, and the staff's like an electro weapon. Mm-hmm. You see the electricity, but you got to think the Krayt Dragon were used to electricity because sand, dry atmosphere, static electricity. It's like a thing that, yeah.
But not from inside though. I assume that he doesn't suck up lightning bolts. The skin's there for a reason. But yeah, we win. Everyone's real happy. I was kind of hoping we were going to see a shot of like Tusken Raiders and humans like shaking hands or something together, but they're very careful to show, oh no, they only celebrate their own kind in case something else causes a slight fuss.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy days, and I called it. I was like, are they going for the pearl? Show me the pearl. Yes, because they didn't need to do that. wasn't important until the story, but it's what the point of killing one is.
And I didn't even know that was a thing, but as soon as I saw the pearl get lifted up, I'm like, that makes perfect sense. You know, it's like an oyster with this little bit of sand. That's what creates the pearl. This thing lives on. Yeah, so I love that. I found out too that in my first reaction that the pearl actually gets cut up, and you can use the crystals to power lightsabers. Like you can cut this pearl up into crystals.
Yeah, you can. Well, certain types, yeah. I mean, this thing is. I mean, think how difficult this was to kill, relatively speaking. Although I probably, you know, a spaceship's guns, probably quite effective. Like, can you imagine just a Star Destroyer? Got it. Killed it. It's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, and copy Jim 81. Yeah, I also wondered why he didn't say, Marshall, keep the armor, you earned it. I thought the same thing was going to happen. But it is the Mandalorian code, and the Mando is very, very much with the Mandalorian code. So,
wait, it's also clear.
But the whole giving the armor back, and just make sure your people know that I didn't break that. Was good.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't think honestly didn't think for a second he was going to keep it because they had a very straightforward deal, and this guy, just like last season, he's going to be one of our companion characters throughout the entire thing, called upon when need be. But this is obviously Boba Fett's iconic armor. It'll lead him to find Boba Fett and more. So it's part of the grander story. It's not a thing he can just keep and be. No, this is a stepping stone to the grander story.
Well, that's the thing. We're not really going to be doing prediction videos for these because there's not next time on. But do you think that? Well, because he might as well talk about the ending here.
Well, yeah, we're
there.
Are we at the ending?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Oh yeah, the painting. The painting's beautiful. But yes, a dude turns around. And although he only has Bantha stuff, I guess. He has or Tusken Raider equipment. Yeah, he has the rifle and the voodoo stick. And yes, it's the Jango Fett, Boba Fett, not the Australian kid, but instead the Australian man. We don't know which they were going to. Either they go for this guy's too old, or the other guy's too young. I guess we're going to go for this guy.
He lived a hard life, and he's scarred up, so he doesn't, it's fine.
But he played the voice and everything. But yes, the somewhat surprising Boba Fett's official return, although since he's not ever been Boba Fett, it's kind of like, hey, look, you're now canon Boba Fett, even though you never were. So it's like, those that know, those that don't know, it's like, okay, it's the guy from the prequels.
So the thing is the next episode going to be him trying to get his armor back? Is that going to be a whole confrontation between the Mandalorian and this guy? Or is this going to be forgotten for a few episodes? Cobb's going to be needed. He comes back. Mando still has the Boba Fett armor. And they're in a situation where Cobb needs to wear it.
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett comes back. Like, I don't know how they're going to play this out. Which is good.
Yes. It depends on our fan service and, they're massive fans as well. And they wouldn't have made a show about the Mandalorian if they didn't love Boba Fett, and now they are the first people to get to play Boba Fett. It's like the Clone Wars guys getting to bring back Darth Maul, undo that mistake in Phantom Menace. That's a big thing to do. So I think this is so big it should be the entire season arc, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is honestly bigger than Baby Yoda. I mean, in terms of the legacy of Star Wars, especially Baby Yoda can either be something or nothing. We don't know yet. But this reveal is 40 years,
Yeah. Well, the reason the Mandalorian is there is to find another Mandalorian, to find out what Yoda's people are. Could it be that Boba Fett knows what Yoda's people are and actually has that information? Just because he was a bounty hunter and knew a lot of stuff.
I mean, they all were. But he obviously he became bounty hunter during the Jedi, and his dad fought the Jedi, sort of. So I can imagine, because the Jedi did kill his dad.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that all the people that would really know about them, and there's certainly some vague semblance that Mace Windu may come back because he was not killed on screen. He was only thrown up a window on screen.
And everybody survives falls in the Star Wars universe.
Especially since you can just grab a thing. We saw it in the movie beforehand. So I think the fact that we didn't see... Normally we do see the start and the end of the journey each episode. So Mando did not leave the planet this week. So he probably is going to start on the ship and then leave, and then Boba may appear and say, who is that guy? Oh, hey, Boba. How's it going? I mean, I walked 4,000 miles. Not good. Yeah. So I can imagine either we're gonna get that, or yes, it'll be in like 4 episodes because unfortunately, the series is quite a lot of just small filler stories that are just fun to watch rather than epic overall arc. Now, that might have been the season 1 idea rather than season 2. Now we've got more story to tell. But I don't think it'll be in for another couple.
Do we know how many episodes are in season 2? Is it just 10 again, or
10,
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was their formula.
Yeah.
And we know also we're gonna have quite a lot with everyone else character-wise. But the question though is this guy gonna be the villain, a hero, a protagonist, an antagonist? Where on the spectrum?
Ooh, yeah. I want to find out what happened to him and how he got out of the Sarlacc pit and lost his armor. That's what I want to find out. That's like the only thing where my mind's going right now. So.
And why is he still on Tatooine? Why is he wearing this stuff? You know, he's not exactly a very good kit with him. You know, was he thrown out into the wilderness, survived by himself? You know, it's a very odd situation to find him in. And why the hell is he there?
I can see him sticking around to track down his armor. And once Jawas found it scavenging the Sarlacc pit, he might not have known that they got it, and he's basically, I don't know. I don't know how important his armor is to him. Like, is it his identity?
Well,
is it a Mandalorian?
It's his dad's armor. They repainted, so I would assume pretty important.
Well,
it's his entire identity. You know, he hid behind it and used the idea of the Mandalorian as a tool to become even more well known. So he wasn't a Mandalorian; he's a clone of a sort of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I didn't really expect him to do this reveal.
Nope.
At the end of this episode,
it was the mic drop.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad they did. Like once I saw the speeder bike in the distance, I'm like, there's something coming up. You see the guys like that's Boba Fett.
Wait, it is the same as Baby Yoda in episode 1. It's like, oh, it's the same thing. It's leave you off with a big thing, which also probably implies that he won't be in it very much. It's like Baby Yoda, a practical part of the storyline. But I do like you said about how he knows more about Jedi than probably anybody right now because he learned. And if he still, like someone in the chat said, if he is a Mando through and through, although obviously he didn't have the armor, he took it off, whatever, that could link to maybe he doesn't feel like a man. Maybe he has to earn his man. Maybe by losing to a Jedi like his dad did, maybe he felt like he didn't deserve the armor anymore, and so he has to like earn it back by doing some deeds, and then the payoff is he gets to put it back on again, and then he can help him. You know, he has to regain his own honor before he can help a fellow Mandalorian, etc., etc.
Yeah, I can see him seeming like a bad guy and turning out to actually be work with the Mandalorian at the end to help him out, and maybe sacrifice himself to save Baby Yoda
and come back in 40 years. Another 40.
Yeah,
it's time with the Jango factor. Kid.
I can see if him dying. I can see if he dies again, it'll be the very similar kind of death. Like, is he dead? He could survive that. You know, I could see them doing that. But I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited actually. You know, when it's not like laid out in front of you as to what could possibly happen. There's so many different options now. It's actually quite fun.
And it's definitely ballsy for them to do this. And it's what people assumed in season 1. That's why people were grasping for every straw. Is it Boba Fett? This week we were treated to Boba Fett's armor and then him in 30 minutes apart. So we were not given time to wonder. We were thrown him.
Yeah. But you got to think too. If this has been 5 years, let's say 6 or 5 years, whatever, that Cobb has had the armor, you'd think that rumor of a marshal wearing Mandalorian armor would get out, even though it's a shitty little town. And if he's been looking for this for 6 years, it makes him a really piss poor bounty hunter. If he's just clued into it now, because Cobb would be a prime target for this guy. This guy's a skilled bounty hunter and assassin. You know, it would just that seems off to me a little bit.
Well, let's assume it didn't take 5 minutes to get out of the Sarlacc pit. Let's give that pit benefit of the doubt. It was so. Let's say 1 year of torture and punishment. Okay, great. He got out. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Let's say that he lost his arm. No, it was scavenged from him, and he woke up in the dirt, no longer any armor. He's now nowhere.
I can see that.
But Mandalorians are more beefy and can live longer, I'm sure, than the other human guy could. And if they're in the middle of nowhere, it takes a while to get to a settlement. And if maybe there was nothing. Maybe he found like a desert. Maybe we'll learn he found a deserted Imperial walk like Ray did, and lived for a bit. Whatever. But since the Moss, whatever it was called, is not on the map currently, the most modern map, that town does not want to be gone back to. They let the news of them getting wiped out stay because they don't want intruders.
Yeah.
So how would Boba Fett know if they don't want people to know? Rumors only spread if they allow themselves to be known. It would sort of defeat the purpose of saying, not only are we alive, we've also got Mandalorian to protect us. That doesn't work quite well.
We got to think, what are they mining? Like, what
at least were
a mining town.
Could remember it was for the Empire, at least implied.
No, because he says the Sand People, when he's got the town hall meeting with everybody there, he says the Sand People, they raid our pack animals, and sometimes as take all the haul of our mining with them.
Yeah.
So this will help us out in that regard. So that's one of the. So yeah, what are they mining, and who are they trading it with? There's got to be, this town has to be known about.
Basically, a bit weird.
It is.
Bit weird. Yeah. Doesn't all quite connect. Maybe intentional. Maybe doesn't matter. Well, no. They could be trading Jawas, and Jawas don't need to talk. I mean, Jawas have many things. Wouldn't be too worried about that. Because all you need really is food and water on this planet, and sunscreen. And you make your own water. Food, it can be anything, and then sunscreen is what's it called? But bantha poodoo.
Yeah. Scott Purdy says Trekyards, his armor was found within days. How do you know that? I mean, yes, there's been stories of him escaping the Sarlacc, and there's a few different versions of it. So are you counting on those? Because this is a new tale, which is...
Yeah, and all the books were decanonized anyway, so it's sort of, we don't know until we see it, but clearly they'll show it this year.
But it looks clear that he used the missile to at least facilitate his escape from the Sarlacc, because there's no missile in the backpack when it's on the sandcrawler.
I like that.
Unless they removed it. They could technically remove it because it's an armed, it's dangerous. Yeah. But, yeah.
Basically,
they're mining spice.
Yeah. Wow. No, it's exciting. It's exciting, and it's ballsy. I'm interested, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good. But I think we're gonna ignore it for quite a lot of the season, to be honest. But I mean, hey, if you do a gentle build, because the thing is, he's now got the armor, so maybe if he knows it's Boba Fett, maybe he'll take the armor to like an armor smith, say who had this. They'll say Boba Fett. He said, Boba Fett, I've heard that name. And start hearing about the history. So if this is the clue, where is the Mandalorian that wore this? So actually, to be fair, next week could probably be still on Tatooine, saying, well, who did this armor belong to? I mean, that could just be a two-parter, and we might get him right in the season. I mean, I didn't even think that, but yeah, it could be. Could be that straightforward,
Okay, I guess. Yeah, actually, that does make sense. They're saying that Boba's armor would have had to been scavenged by Jawas within a few days of Boba going in the pit, since Cobb Vanth obtained the armor just days after the fall of the Empire.
Which was days after Tatooine.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So thank you for clarifying that.
So you're looking at he'd spent downwards of a week. Damn. But I mean, hey, would undo the pussiness if you got down there and then got out. I mean.
Yeah, there's been I used to have a comic where it shows him escape, and there's that fan film where there's some good stuff.
But I definitely hope.
But yeah, we need to see the canon version now.
I definitely hope that we see him, like I say, blow his way out, get up, and then you do see the strewn remains of the original speeders, and they get to build those practically, and he gets to walk. He takes the helmet off. He's like, wow, this sucks. And he's, like I said, de-aged him by 6 years, whatever. And it's just like, huh.
Because what?
And then
I'm trying to think of the time. I'm trying to think of the time between the Sarlacc pit, Jabba's escape from Jabba's palace, or sail barge.
Yeah.
And the destruction of the Death Star was what, probably a few days?
Yeah, days at max. I mean, travel in the Star Wars universe is either seconds, minutes, hours, or days, depending on plot. So, yeah, I would assume 2 or 3 days max.
Yeah. Okay.
See?
No,
That's good logic.
that's
good ABC. They don't have to explicitly tell us that, but they did by showing it. Yeah. Cool. Right, guys. Well, I think that is the end. 161 people, 146 likes. I need to see at least another $21. Really, 31.
4 more likes. Yeah.
4 more likes, $31. Come on, guys. That will round us up to a low number, but at least a decent number. So if you can, that would be great. Put in your review scores now. Out of 10 for this season, and out of 10 for Discovery.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, out of 10. I'll have to make a new document. Let me find that while you guys super chat your scores. And as always, Stuart with
super chat your scores.
I'll read the non-super chats.
I'll read those. You make the thing, I'll talk. Go make the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll read the super chat scores. Sam and I read the other ones, but we're going to get into our scores in a second. We need another 2 likes to hit 150 likes, guys. And yeah, if we could do another $30 in super chats, that would be amazing. So if you can, please do. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember what my scoring for season 1. Let's see. Okay, well, I'll start talking about my overall thoughts. This was a fun return to the world. I love that it just starts at chapter 9, not season 2, episode 1. Just continuing the story. The Western vibe is great because it's those old storytelling tropes that just work so well. And yeah, you've seen it before, but it's got the new skin on it, which is great. The return of a legacy character, Boba Fett, seeing that armor was like, damn. And it's beat up. It's had 6 years of wear and tear with the Marshal, so the paint's coming off, and it was really nice. The reveal of Boba at the end, again, I didn't quite expect that, so that was well done. Getting some time with the Sand People and realizing that they're just they're honorable people. Yeah, sure, they're brutal, but I mean, so that was also great. The new character, Cobb, is fantastic. I really like the actor. I like the character, and just a good guy trying to do what's right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in this one. So for all those reasons, this one is definitely going to have to get a. Oh, good God, I can't remember my scoring for the last season. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one. Like this is a rewatchable piece for me. So, although the last half does feel kind of drawn out, like the plan seems to, it's filler. There's a lot of filler stuff there, I think. But other than that, it's not too bad. So,
yeah, nice. 8.5, eh? Yeah, I have no idea what I said last year, so it's more just enjoyment factor.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
But I don't think any of them were under a 6. Honestly.
No, I don't think so.
So yeah, for me, like I said at the start, it comes across as very simple, but as I say to you so many times, this is a decent story, happens to be in the Star Wars world. It was story first. How do you use the world? How do you enhance the world? How do you retcon some fun stuff? I mean, it's definitely for Star Wars fans, by Star Wars fans once again this year. It could have been more, could have been better. And obviously, if the lead actor didn't have to wear a helmet, you could have had better acting, more diverse acting. But when you're limited, like as someone who's trying to design things to film in quarantine, when you have a limitation, you have to do other things. When your lead actor that carries a show can only act so much, it limits you drastically in what you can tell.
It makes you more creative, though. You make more creative choices to get around that.
But you can't have 3-minute walk and talks in Discovery where you see emotion. You can't have those sorts of scenes. So they have to, instead they fill it with these beautiful fly-throughs that are long, and these more. There are other things they do which flow to a more simplistic version, but it does it very, very well. Well directed, well acted, etc. And obviously these extras, I do think like the game's companion characters are very, very good so far. Boba's stuff was great, really rewarding. Craig Dragon was good, not brilliant. It let me down, I think, at the end, although I knew what was happening, so I knew the universe, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Sam People, best ever been, and that was really rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, a little bit less, a little bit too little story, but they fully committed to what they were doing. We want to introduce this new character, fully commit to give him a good introduction, like with a full backstory and everything, and then fully commit to defeating Creator Dragon. Yeah, we're going to get 25 minutes to it, so it feels big. So it's a, you know, so it's a mixed bag of like could have been more, but it's like they are episodics fundamentally.
Yes.
With a bit of world moving. Although the Mandalorian himself didn't do very much this week, and certainly personality-wise, he's a blank slate this week. I felt more than anything else. And the first scene I thought was not very good. It was fine, but on the low end of the spectrum. Like as I was reviewing it, my brain, I was thinking everything, and then the first scene also happened. You know, it's so unmemorable. You know, but whatever. Yeah. It was needed. Guys, $10 more. So for me, I'm gonna go a solid 7.5. I think start with 3/4. You know, could have been better. Was strong. That's a B, isn't it? Yeah. It's more enjoyment factor. I even though they could have been more, I like the slow pace. I appreciate the cinematicness in it. I'm not dissing it, but just like with Lower Decks, they cram so much in 22 minutes of story. They could have put more in here. And that's okay. Just they didn't. And that's okay
like
too.
I said, the last half felt a little padded, and there could have been more story in there. But
in the end, it was just like, whoa.
Well, all that being said too about the Mandalorian and the expression and stuff, I think after season 1, we both agreed that despite the fact that there's no facial expressions, the head tilts, there's a lot of conveying of emotion going on without being able to see his face. I think they pull that off very well, actually. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $2. Challenge issued, hit Sam's mark. Well, we're almost there. We're $10 off. So if you guys can just do that, $10. We already hit the 150 likes, which is great. But another $10 in super chats would be awesome to close out. So Tenchi 2K7 puts in $5. 8 out of 10 for Mandalorian. 50 out of 10 for Discovery. The winky face.
Yeah, it'd probably be like a 9 for Discovery.
This was the most Star Trek episode of Discovery ever. What?
Yeah.
Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. Made 150. Awesome sauce, folks. Now hit Sam's mark. Yeah, another $10 would be great.
Yeah, and
I love how
5 more likes too.
Yeah, I love how it doesn't say for new members it says 0, even though we had somebody upgrade to a Fleet Admiral. The upgrades should be included there, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, hopefully you guys like these Mandalorian discussions. I really enjoy them. They're not quite as involved as our Star Trek ones, just because we know the minutia of Star Trek a little bit better. I think we get more into the weeds on that.
Also, they make more mistakes we can criticize.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We know that canon though.
Yeah. These are fun to do, so I do enjoy. This is a nice palate cleanser from Discovery. Now we have both every week for a while. This is actually kind of refreshing because if one's not good, the other one will make up for it, hopefully. And it's kind of nice to have both Star Wars and Star Trek new at the same time, coming out weekly. It's like, did you ever think this would be a thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
My younger self certainly didn't.
Yeah. But we're doing the super chats to keep justifying us doing them, because it's definitely lower than we would have made for a Discovery one. Although I'm sure a lot of you have jumped in on that. So if we can make the $7 more, at least we can hit a basic average. I've enjoyed it. Like Stuart said, this is a good start. And yeah, it means Friday and Saturday some watch parties in this house.
Area 51 puts in $2. Wish I had that guy's hair. I know.
Yeah.
Cobb's hair is amazing, and he never has helmet hair. I put my Mandalorian or my Boba Fett helmet on for like 10 minutes, take it off, and my hair looks like shit. Just a hat, anything. I get Not good. Not
Well,
good.
that's the difference between when you actually have a genuine Mandalorian helmet. It like,
Oh,
like it.
it's like a salon.
Yes.
While it's on, it's like
Yep.
moisturizing your hair and like giving you a scalp
Well, because
massage.
the helmet knows if you take me off, you mean business, because it's so
Yeah.
rare, you know.
Yeah.
But this Joker does say, just notice you're using the Trekyards banner. Yes, we did this last year as well. It's just we have a Star Wars one, but our faces are absurdly small. This is a nice
Yeah.
balanced one. So did the same thing last year. Go back and look.
Yeah, it should really be Fleet Yard, but anyway, that's Scott Purdy, $2 or
There you go.
£2. My theory, Baby Yoda is
Yep.
the Mandalorian.
Oh.
No, see, the Mandalorian's actually dead, and yeah, Baby Yoda is just using him as like a marionette with the Force. Sealed them
Force
in with
puppet.
a force field around him so he doesn't stink. Yeah, just making him.
I mean, you couldn't tell if it's all head nods and stuff. Yeah. That'll be the reveal. Season 1 end. Season 2 end. The helmet comes off. It's just rotted flesh. It's like God. Pedro, you let yourself go, man.
Yeah.
God.
He died in that cantina in the first season.
God.
Oh, that'd be a great reveal. He's actually. Oh my god. Oh,
Four
anyway.
more dollars. $4 more, guys. Who? Well, just final super chat slot. That's the. That's the next victory point.
The doctor says Cobb will be in Mando's crew. Absolutely, he will be.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be great to see like the last episode or two where it's Cobb and Cara Dune and just everybody hanging out. Fleet Paw Swiftback $2. Glares. At least you have Harris Stewart.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't do anything with it today at all. Actually, it was a day at home doing nothing. Look at his floof. He's got floofy hair.
I do.
One more dollar.
Although, as we are finishing off, let me pimp my just released thing today.
Yes, let's watch this.
Well, I'm not going to watch it. I'll just show the thumbnail. So I made I mean, we talk about it another time, guys. But I happen to have, although that's not. There we go. I released a trailer for a surprise fan film today that only the cast and Stuart knew I was doing.
It's true.
So
I was actually in on something for a change.
You were.
Because I complain all the time because I'm
You
never
do.
in on anything.
But doesn't it feel good when you are in on something? See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
I feel special.
you do. So yeah, this was it takes quite a lot of work to make these sorts of things. So it was quite a nice surprise. Just go on YouTube and search A Long Way From Home. Sort of fan production. The trailer's out. It's a minute and a half. It reveals who's going to be in it, or at least some of the people are going to be in it. And it is based inside a Type 9 shuttle. This film was filmed during quarantine, although with Nimran reprising, and this is the same actress that was in my Temporal Anomaly film back in 2012-13, who was an XO1 era character, and then I brought her back as her own descendant for Convergence. But since Convergence required people from many countries, and countries are locked right now, because we were going to film it at the end of August, and we couldn't. So I decided I was going to make something smaller to give back to the fans, fully self-funded, whatever. And I brought Nim back in. She does a phenomenal job as this character. And I have hopes for more with her if you guys respond well and can help us out with maybe a fundraiser, etc. But that'll come later. So this work on this right now, and it'll be 15-ish minutes. So go check it out. I'm pretty proud of the. You've never seen the trailer before in terms of like how I've done the trailer. So take a look.
Cool.
Yeah.
Eric Sween has joined the channel at the rank of commander. So welcome, Eric. Good to have you aboard. Thank you very much. That means a lot to us. Those channel memberships are like a godsend.
Yes.
So yes, thank you very much, guys.
It means a lot. So yeah, check out the trailer. I might talk about it again and show it after it's been out for more than 2 hours.
Yes.
Or go on the Trekyards page and comment on it, because I post it on all Trekyards pages. So find it and comment.
Oh, did you? Okay, I will share it as well.
Give us a what you thought of it.
Yeah,
I would like to know.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna get our $1, but a new member is good enough.
It is.
So
that is weird. They're only $1.
Actually,
that's it.
$1 and one more like.
Oh.
We had 160 likes with one more like, and one more dollar to hit like a nice even number.
And I think, 160 we should get like $5 $1. How many $1 can we get? Because that's the lowest, or even 99 cents. But how many $1 can we get right now? Like, how much spam $1 can we get?
I just want to see, because people out there that are guilty and know that they're guilty of not hitting the like button should all hit the like button. But we're already at 160, so it's 162. See how that works? You ask for one like, and all of a sudden everybody's like, you gotta hit like, and then boom, all of a sudden you get like 5. So, yeah. And $1, thank you very much, Ronan. That is awesome. So Ronan has the last super chat slot, and stay there, Bacon. Hit our goal, 165, and yes, thank you very much for that. So
yeah, so we'll see you
until tomorrow.
For some more Star Trek.
We'll talk about something.
We will, something or other. And then Wednesday predictions, Thursday your first reaction, Friday back to Trek again.
That's right. Turd Ferguson throws in $2 with no comment, and George Magrum puts in $1 for the last super chat slot. So thank you guys. Come back and join us every day because we got cool stuff going on for at least mid-December.
And then some presumably between Christmas and New Year, some drunk antics.
Yeah. Somebody made a great suggestion of something we should do that I said we should, and I can't remember what the hell it was now.
Was that good?
It was that good, and it was so good I'm not going to forget it, and so I didn't write it down. Yep. It'll come to me.
But at least you remember. At least you remember not to forget it.
This is true.
You just didn't remember.
True. Area 51 puts in $1, and
thank you.
Weird Guy 564 puts in $5. Check out Mini 6 Bare Bones Edition for simplified Star Wars RPG rules. It's free. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I almost got pulled into an RPG once for Star Wars by a friend of mine, and I wanted to be a character.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh,
I remember. Listen, Jericho reminded me. They want us to review the Star Wars Christmas special, the holiday special. They want us to go through, get screen caps, and talk about it.
Now,
I think that could be a good Christmas kind of drunk thing.
Yes,
that'll be a drunk review. So yeah, that's it. So don't forget, Star Wars Holiday Special review sometime after.
And I feel like we should do it. It'd be hard for me, but I have to do it on my phone. Where we should actually listen, not on streams, it's copyright, but we should listen to the songs via our own mediums and give you like a time code for the actual thing, so you guys can watch the songs with us. And then we listen to them, and then you see our live reaction of the stupid, shitty songs in the special as we're drinking.
It would be hard to do that because I'm delayed on.
Yes, very difficult, but effective as well. The thing is, if you and me both synchronize,
Yeah, it'll be fun to do that review drunk.
Yes.
Somebody suggested, and I'm like, drunk review of that would be great. Fleet Pass Swiftback $2. I will pay $100 to not do that.
That's also a generous amount.
Speak with your wallet. That $1.99 is not $100, Fleet Paw. Just saying.
Oh dear.
Come on, I think it'd be fun.
It would be fun
to review the holiday special.
Because I've seen multiple reviews of it.
I've never seen it. Yeah, that's the thing. I've never seen it, but I've seen multiple reviews about it.
I've seen Red Letter and Nostalgia Critics, full breakdown, so I know everything in it.
I've seen more than that. I've seen probably 5 or 6 reviews of it, and yeah, I've seen everything in it, give or take. But yeah, I've never actually watched it. So,
I mean,
and yes, there's a Lego one coming to Disney Plus. I think November 4th, 5th, something like that.
Yeah, that confuses me.
So it's coming soon. We can review them both. That'll be fun.
So until then, guys. Yeah. He is Captain Foley.
I am, and he's Commander Cockings.
And watch my trailer.
Let's go watch the trailer and comment and let
Trekyards.
us know. Let him know what you think about it. So until then, guys.
Bye, guys.
Until the next time, I'm Captain Foley.
And
bye.
Again, Connor.
Yeah. Bye.